Hey there, treasure hunters and coin lovers. Have you ever looked at your loose change and thought, what if I'm sitting on a tiny fortune? Well, buckle up because today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1776 to 1976 D Mint Mark Washington quarter, a coin that might just make you a millionaire. Yep, you heard that right. A piece of pocket change could be worth a whopping $1.2 million. So, grab your coin jars and let's see if we can turn some spare change into a jackpot. Let's start with a quick history lesson. Don't worry, I'll keep it fun. The 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter was minted to celebrate America's bicentennial. It's got a unique design featuring a colonial drummer on the reverse side and, of course, good old George Washington on the front. If you've got one with a D mint mark, which means it was minted in Denver, you might want to pay close attention. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but how does this coin go from being worth 25 cents to $1.2 million? The magic lies in the details. Rare versions of this coin were struck on silver planchets instead of the standard copper-nickel blend. This was likely an error, but as collectors will tell you, errors are pure gold, or in this case, silver. So, if your quarter looks shinier or has a slightly different tone, you might be onto something. Here's where it gets even better. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition can fetch top dollar. Imagine that, a quarter that never saw the inside of a gumball machine could fund your dream vacation or even pay off your mortgage. Talk about a return on investment. Now, I've got to share a little story. A couple of years ago, I was going through an old box of coins my grandfather left me. At first, it was just a trip down memory lane, but then I spotted a shiny quarter that looked different. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be the silver bicentennial quarter? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But hey, it was still worth a few bucks, and the thrill of the hunt. Priceless. How can you check if your quarter is the jackpot version? Step 1, grab a magnet. Silver isn't magnetic, so if your coin sticks to the magnet, it's not the one. Step 2, weigh it. A standard quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, but a silver one is heavier, around 6.25 grams. Step 3, look for an expert or a professional grading service to confirm. Now, if you're thinking, okay, but what are the odds? Well, they're slim, but so are the odds of finding true love on a dating app, and people still swipe, right? Besides, even if you don't find the $1 million coin, you might discover something valuable or just plain cool. So, there you have it, the 1776 to 1976 D Mint Mark Washington quarter might just be the hidden treasure you've been looking for. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who wants to give their piggy bank a second look, it's worth checking. Who knows? That jingling in your pocket could be the sound of a future millionaire. What if I told you a plain old quarter, yes, the kind jingling in your car's cup holder right now, could be worth up to $1 million? And no, I'm not pulling your leg. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1965 Washington quarter without a mint mark that's got collectors everywhere flipping their coins and flipping out. Let's get into it. Before we get into why this humble quarter could make you a millionaire, let me paint a picture for you. It's 1965. The Beatles are rocking the charts, bell-bottoms are the fashion, and the US Mint is in crisis mode. Silver prices are skyrocketing, and the Mint decides to stop using silver in quarters and switch to a copper-nickel blend. Sounds simple, right? Well, not exactly. In the chaos of the transition, some 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver blanks instead of the new copper-nickel ones. Oops. These silver imposters are extremely rare, and collectors lose their minds over them. So, how can you tell if you've got one? First, grab a quarter and look closely. If there's no mint mark below Washington's head, you're on the right track. Now for the fun part, weigh it. A standard copper-nickel quarter weighs about 5.67 grams, but a silver quarter tips the scale at 6.25 grams. It's a tiny difference, but hey, we're talking about $1 million here. Don't have a scale? No worries. Take a close look at the edge. Modern quarters have a copper-colored stripe, but a silver quarter's edge is clean and shiny. Pro tip: compare it to another quarter to see the difference. Just don't go squinting at coins under the dinner table. Trust me, your family will have questions. Now, about that $1 million price tag. A 1965 silver quarter in top-notch condition sold for, drumroll, please, $1,175,000 at auction. That's right. Someone traded a pocket change quarter for a mansion or maybe a lifetime supply of avocado toast. Either way, it's a big deal, but here's the catch: these coins are ultra-rare. Think winning the lottery rare. Still, it's worth checking your spare change because you never know. Just last week, I found a wheat penny from 1944 in my laundry money pile. Not worth $1 million, but it's always exciting to discover a little piece of history. So, what's the takeaway? Always check your change, folks. That cup holder quarter might just be your golden ticket. And if you do find one of these legendary 1965 silver quarters, call a professional coin grader ASAP. They'll help you figure out the value, and maybe even make history. If you love treasure hunts like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. I've got more coin tips and hidden gem stories coming your way. Plus, who knows? The next video might help you spot another jackpot in your piggy bank. Happy hunting, and may the coin gods be ever in your favor. Have you ever looked at the change in your pocket and thought, maybe this is my ticket to a millionaire lifestyle? Well, buckle up, because today, we're talking about the 1985 Deep Mint Mark Washington quarter. Yes, that humble little coin you might casually toss into a vending machine could be worth a jaw-dropping $999,000. That's right, folks, nearly $1 million for 25 cents. Let's dive in and see what makes this quarter so special. First, a quick refresher for anyone new to the world of coin collecting. Mint marks are those tiny letters on coins that tell us where they were made. The D on our 1985 quarter means it was minted in Denver. Denver is great for hiking, skiing, and apparently producing coins that could buy you a dream vacation in Bora Bora. So, what makes this particular quarter so valuable? It's all about rarity and condition. The $999,000 price tag isn't for just any 1985 D quarter. Nope, this one is the cream of the crop, graded as MS 68 by Professional Coin Grading Services. MS stands for Mint State, which means this coin is practically flawless. Imagine a quarter that's never seen the inside of a gumball machine or the bottom of a sticky car cup holder. That's the level of perfection we're talking about. Now, let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I found a 1985 quarter in a couch cushion. For a split second, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. My mind was racing with visions of paying off my student loans and buying a yacht. Spoiler alert, it wasn't an MS-68. It looked more like it had been to a rock concert, a mud wrestling match, and maybe a zombie apocalypse. But hey, it was still 25 cents richer than I was before I flipped that couch cushion, so who's really winning? Back to our golden, well, silver, ticket. If you think you might have a rare 1985 D quarter, here's what to do. First, give it a good look. Use a magnifying glass to check for scratches, dents, or discoloration. If it looks pristine, it might be worth sending to a professional grading service. And here's a pro tip: handle it carefully. Don't just toss it in your pocket with your car keys and hope for the best. Treat it like a newborn baby, or at least like your phone when it's at 1% battery. Now, let's talk market value. The $999,000 figure isn't an everyday occurrence. It's the result of a fierce auction where wealthy collectors duked it out for a piece of numismatic history. But even if your quarter isn't worth six figures, there's a chance it could still fetch a pretty penny. Some lower-grade MS-graded 1985 D quarters have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Not bad for something you might find in a Coinstar reject bin. Before we wrap up, here's my challenge for you: go through your change jar, your car's cup holders, your junk drawer, anywhere coins tend to hide. Who knows? You might just stumble upon your own little treasure. And even if you don't find a $999,000 quarter, you'll at least have the satisfaction of finally cleaning out that drawer. You're rummaging through your spare change jar, and bam, hidden among the dimes and nickels, there's a quarter that could be worth, wait for it, $989,000. That's right, nearly a cool million for a coin you might have used to buy a soda back in the day. Today, we're diving into the mystery, rarity, and mind-blowing value of the 1995 D Mint Mark Washington quarter. Could you have one of these fortune makers lying around? Stick around to find out. This one's going to make you want to check every quarter in your pocket. Let's go. What's so special about the 1995 D quarter? It's your standard Washington quarter, same OL, George on the front, eagle on the back. But here's the kicker, the 1995 Denver Mint accidentally produced a tiny number of these quarters with a super rare minting error. Think of it like finding a four-leaf clover, but shinier and way more valuable. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of error are we talking about? In this case, it's all about a faintly struck D Mint mark or sometimes a misalignment. Errors like this make collectors absolutely lose their minds, and their wallets. The most recent sale of this bad boy? A jaw-dropping $989,000 at auction. Just imagine what you could do with that cash: buy a house, pay off your student loans, or finally open that cat cafe you've always dreamed of. The possibilities are endless, but here's a fun story for you. A few years ago, I was helping my aunt clean out her junk drawer, you know, the one where rubber bands and mystery keys go to die. She handed me a pile of change and said, "Here, you like coins, figure out if these are worth anything." Well, I didn't find a 1995 D, but I did find a 1964 silver quarter worth about $10. Not quite $989,000, but hey, it was enough for a fancy coffee. Moral of the story? Always check your change, it's like a mini lottery ticket you didn't know you had. So, what's the takeaway here? The 1995 D Washington quarter is the ultimate needle in a haystack, but finding one could completely change your life. Take 5 minutes tonight, raid that jar of coins on your dresser, and see if you're holding a small fortune. You toss it in your pocket without a second thought. Big mistake. That tiny quarter could be your ticket to a whopping $981,000. Yep, almost $1 million for 25 cents. Crazy, right? Stick around, and I'll tell you how you might already have one of these hidden gems in your stash. Oh, and I'll share a story about the time I almost traded a valuable coin for a pack of gum. True story. Let's dive in. Alright, let's talk about this little guy, the 2021 D Washington quarter. The D stands for the Denver Mint, by the way. This coin was part of the final year of the America the Beautiful series. But here's the kicker, not all of these coins are special. What makes some of them worth a jaw-dropping $981,000 is their condition and rarity. We're talking pristine, untouched, mint-state coins with perfect grades. Think of it as a coin beauty pageant, no scratches, no blemishes, just pure, shiny perfection. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70 by experts. A 70 is the gold medalist, flawless in every way. A 2021 D quarter graded MS 70, or Mint State 70, recently sold for $981,000 at auction. Yeah, someone actually paid nearly $1 million for a quarter. Mind blown, right? Now, before you rush to flip over your couch cushions, here's the deal. These coins are rare because finding one in perfect condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. But don't let that stop you. Even if your quarter isn't a perfect MS-70, a high-grade coin can still fetch a pretty penny, or a pretty dollar. You know, this reminds me of the time I almost made the dumbest trade of my life. I was at a gas station, about to buy a pack of gum. I reached into my pocket and pulled out a quarter that looked, well, extra shiny. But I didn't think much of it. Luckily, my inner coin nerd stopped me, and I decided to check it out later. Turns out, it was worth a couple $100. Moral of the story, always check your change before you buy gum. So, what's the takeaway here? Every coin has a story, and some have huge paydays attached. Start checking your quarters, especially those 2021 D mint marks. Who knows? You might be sitting on a fortune. And hey, if you strike gold, or, in this case, silver and copper, send me a picture. I'd love to celebrate with you. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could change your life, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like and share with your fellow treasure hunters. I've got plenty more tips and stories to help you spot the hidden gems in your pocket change. Until next time, happy hunting.